disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fits, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partners.
Hey!
Joe Hartley, Angel Diaz. What's up, guys?
What's up? What are you laughing about?
I just looked at your name, man. I wasn't paying attention earlier. I just looked at you got Scorpion on.
Listen, I changed it last week too, and nobody noticed. I changed it to Zangief last week.
I saw that, man, but I was like, "What is he doing? Like, what's going on?" If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Tuesdays, you got CTE, Chris Los, and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fits, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Mike, Angel, and Joe. And on Thursdays, you can get the inside scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, maybe. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
What's up, man? Just a simple, easy weekend. No big deal. You know, I watched the movie a couple times. Tried to get the family to watch it with me. No one was down, so it's all good.
What about you, Books?
Man, I had my weekend was chill. Actually, I didn't really do much. I just trained, getting ready for my tournament, and then I watched this movie like 3-4 times. The first movie I've ever watched out of all the ones we've talked about that I've actually went back and watched a second time, and I said I want to go back for thirds. So.
Wow, you really love this movie.
I love this movie. I watched it today just for no reason. I watched it today, fell asleep, woke up, and I already knew where we were. As soon as I woke up, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is about to happen."
Tell me this: you watch the movie, then play the game?
Oh, so I have all the games. I actually was playing the game earlier because I wanted to see what the storyline in the games were. To this, I have the original Sega. I have the original Sega
the new storyline right now is way off from where the movies are.
Oh no, yeah, the new storyline. I got like new people in this. You got random people. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, man. My favorite Mortal Kombat game was the one where you could play chess against each other. That was the dopest Mortal Kombat game. That was like PS2. That was a dope Mortal Kombat game. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Gene. I know you don't know.
No, I don't. Playing chess? You said playing chess?
Yeah, so you'll like move. So let's say I want to move my rook over. You move it to the spot, and then in order for you to take the spot, you gotta fight the other person. You gotta beat them, and then you get the spot. But if you say like you beat them, but you have like half your health, that's what you keep. So when someone else tries to take you, you start off with only half health. That was actually the best way to play chess. I wish we could do that in real life.
Be nice.
Yeah.
So the movie that we're going to review this evening is Mortal Kombat, the Mortal Kombat film from 1995. I have not played the game since the early 90s. I might have played 1 and 2, but I don't think I played any Mortal Kombat since the second one.
Fun fact. Did you guys? Well, I mean, you guys probably knew this. I learned this. Did you know that when the first and the second one came out, I think it was the first one especially, it was banned in countries of South America because they were setting people on fire, like the real game and all that.
People are dumb, man.
Like they saw Scorpion like take his mask off and set someone on fire, so they had like the thing to like spit on you and the fire would just like torch you up in flames. I thought that was crazy. I was like, for someone to make that connection and ban the game, that's just nuts. But whatever.
I mean, I remember when the game came out, man, and it was popular amongst kids, but parents most definitely did not like us playing it because of how the characters were being killed in the game. You know, I mean, at the time, like, you didn't see that in video games. You know, you going straight from Mario and Sonic straight to Mortal Kombat. You know, so
No, but here's
Not
the
even
thing.
not even
could,
Street Fighter did that.
you could turn the blood and the fatalities off. I mean, as a parent.
yeah, but could you do that on the Sega Genesis? Because that's what it came out on first, I think.
I think you could. Definitely in the second one. Maybe not in the first one.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
not the first one. That sounds like something they would fix for the next installment of a game.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I was kind of surprised by the movie.
Why? Please explain.
Because I have never liked this movie. Never liked this movie.
Uh-huh.
And I saw this movie last year, and I thought this was still garbage.
And
I saw it this week. I only saw it one time. I didn't get a chance to watch it a second time or third. I think that because I've been doing this show and watching so many bad movies.
I was just gonna say, it's because of what we just watched the last 2 weeks.
It could
That's
be
the only reason.
It could be.
I was waiting for it.
But so this movie was not as bad as I was expecting. Like I was bracing myself, and I was like, you know what? It
was a decent storyline. Like there was like no real holes in it. It was like decent. Like the acting wasn't like so one-sided. It was pretty neutral. Like everyone did about the same job. Listen, I was like, I'm gonna tell you right now. When I was watching it, I was still happy with it when they did in the first scene when Shang Tsung did like his sorcery trick and he acted as like Master Boyd. I thought that was dope that it didn't look so choppy, like Bison shooting lightning out of his fingers. Like that looked pretty smooth. Like you could tell they didn't blow their budget on one person. At that time, everybody in that movie, they didn't have a name, so everybody was getting paid.
Who was the biggest name in that movie? Christopher Lambert?
I was gonna say the girl who played Sonya Blaze. I've seen her in quite a few things.
I was gonna say Hakeem Austin just because he's a karate fighter. But I'll give him his flowers. I'll give him his flowers now.
He was only in the movie for a hot second. He really wasn't in it too long.
Don't you dare disrespect him. That man had one of the most iconic roles.
He wasn't in the movie long.
It doesn't matter.
He's never been in any movie long.
Yeah, listen. He got in there, and on top of that, he was the only person that his soul got taken from by Shang Tsung. So you better respect the man.
Luke Kane's brother.
No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Why does that not count?
We didn't see his soul get taken. He just you saw him do like a Jabberwocky move. Like he like took his whole body out.
Yeah, we did.
That was cool. That was cool, man. Hey, I want to know how they made Hakeem Austin look white. That was dope.
Apparently, that's what happens when you lose your soul.
That was dope. Like he went from being black to being like a purplish white. Like he looked like he was like something messed him up. I was like, man, this is crazy.
Man, that's what happened when you lose your soul. You know that?
I mean, listen. I think that was the first time. I think that was the first time we ever saw whiteface instead of blackface. We saw whiteface. That was the first time.
Angel, this is why we can't be on YouTube.
Hey, listen. Last week we talked about terrorists, and now we're talking about whiteface. That's not bad.
But like I said, man, this movie was not as bad as I was expecting. But like I said, I like over this last year, I've just seen so many bad martial arts movies. That I was like, oh, okay, that's not that bad. I was expecting it to be a lot worse. And like Joe said, having watched Street Fighter and also Double Dragon, especially Double Dragon. Oh my God.
Now that we have established this, two things. One, don't get excited for next week. And two,
I'm not.
Don't get excited for that one. That one was terrible. And then two, I
disagree.
Really? Get out of here.
I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's terrible.
I think it's on the same level as Street Fighter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We'll have to. I remember the movie, but I'll have to watch it.
Watch it again. It's on the same level as Street Fighter. But all right, go ahead. Let's get started. Let's get right into this because I'm excited. I've been waiting all day to talk.
Okay, and you know what, Angel? A couple things. Actually, a few things. Number one, I did see quite a few little holes in the movie. That I'm going to touch on. And then after we got off the podcast last week, you said something that I've been thinking about all week, ever since we got off the podcast, and you said that I watch the movies a little bit differently than you and Joe, right?
No. Well, you and Joe both watch it differently from me.
Okay.
Now, in terms of you and Joe, I feel like this is like we all say this, like your way your mind works is completely different. Like you almost like let's say like if we show you a square, Gene, like you're always gonna look at everything from the backside first. You'll never look at what's in front of you, which is dope. Like that's a super cool way to look at things. So I think in terms of like when we look at the movies, like whenever I'm talking about a movie, I'm always giving it from my side. I have like such a competitive mindset, again, just because of where I'm at in my life right now. Where you guys are looking at movies from a different way. You guys could be looking at more of like, oh, but I want my kid to watch this, something along those lines.
Yes and no. And the reason I say that is because I remember I don't know which show we were on. We were recording, and you had mentioned that when it comes to the martial arts movies, that you watch them for the action.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what I do when I watch movies. I watch it for the story. So that is, you're completely right. You're 100% right that we are looking at, the movies differently. Like you're all about the action, but I'm looking for the story, and I'm watching to see how things make sense. Like if I watch a romance movie, like I'm not watching just for the love scenes. I want the story. You know
what, Gene? I feel you on that. But for me, like being a martial artist and always enjoying martial arts movies, like I love to have a good story, but a martial arts movie can bring me in if there's good martial arts. If the storyline is terrible, then it's just terrible. But if there's some good martial arts scenes, some good fight scenes, I might be able to overlook some of the bad storyline.
So, like, piggybacking off of what Joe just said, I agree with that because I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, a lot of the martial arts movies that I like, if you were to look at like their like Rotten Tomato score or like just like an overall just scores that they've gotten, they're actually like pretty bad movies in terms of like the general public. But I think that they're like how we talked about last week, where you're like, oh, I didn't think the first one was that good, and I was like, man, to me, the first one's like such an iconic movie. I love it. No matter like I could overlook like iffy acting and the holes, I could overlook that because it's so action packed. And then that's what I was saying last week is that I'm always looking like when we look at, if you were to watch like Best of the Best, No Retreat, No Surrender, I love watching the training montages because it makes me look and see like, oh, like what am I doing now? Or am I doing something the same? Could I do something that they're doing in a movie that could help me and help me get better? So I think that's what you're saying. Like we look at it a different way. And that's really one of the big reasons why I liked Mortal Kombat. And it's actually like one of my favorite karate movies in general. It's just because there's action. There's always fighting all the way through. There's like very little time.
Yeah, you're right about that, 100%. And then also, I'm always looking at it from a creative point of view also because, my major in college was television production. So I had, writing classes, storytelling classes, film production, which, oh man, I hated doing film. And also video production. So I have a different type of mindset when it comes to these movies. So, no problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it helped me understand things a little bit different, when we get off the show last week. And I was like, oh, yeah, Angel did say, all right, it's no problem.
I'm glad. I'm just happy to hear you say that you actually like this movie. Finally, we could all be on.
I don't think he said that quite yet. I think he said better than he thought.
Joe, he said that, man. He said that.
Yeah, I didn't hear those words come out of his mouth.
He tried to say that Street Fighter was. Listen, all right. Can we at least admit this is better than Street Fighter? Can we at least admit that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
We already won, Angel. Yeah.
Exactly. That's it. That was our bit.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to give my grade at the end of this because you guys are gonna be shocked.
I'm not going to be shocked. I know what it is already.
Okay, so it starts off. It's like Liu Kang is having a bad dream, a nightmare, and he sees his brother getting beat up by Shang Tsung, and I was a little confused right here because when at first when I watched it, I said, okay, he's having a bad dream. He's thinking about his brother, but then I was like, well, okay, so when did this happen? Was he there when his brother died? I was confused on what happened, especially when he went to Hong Kong and he went to the temple and he started talking to one of the monks, and the monk told him that it happened here. And I think he said something like, you weren't here. Now, was his brother training for the tournament? Do you guys know? Was that something that was etched out of the film?
They said he was training for the tournament, but I think he lost to Shang Tsung in the tournament.
So this is okay. From my vast years of watching this movie, I've been putting this plot together more and more after the 100th time I watched it. From what I got from this, originally Liu Kang was training for the tournament, but he didn't want nothing to do with it because he didn't believe in what the mission was. He thought it was just a folktale. So he left and went to America. The only next person up was his brother. So from what I got from it is that his brother tried to fight Shang Tsung earlier than the tournament. And it could have been like a set match, kind of like a one-on-one to decide the fate of the world.
That makes sense.
He lost, right? But if you heard what they said he is the chosen one because Shang Tsung came to him in a dream. So that all really happened, but I think Shang Tsung, and because remember how Shang Tsung invited Johnny Cage? He invited him to the tournament. Mm-hmm. I think that was his invitation, knowing what the rules is in their temple.
And that makes sense because the whole first few scenes is everyone's way of finding out or getting into the tournament. So that actually makes sense to me.
Exactly. You see, I look at this. I've watched this so many times. I'm contributing tonight. I got this.
Okay, Bugs. Then answer this. I thought they said in the movie that the tournament comes around like
once a generation.
Right.
With that. Okay. So now, ready? Here we go. I'm hitting you with this.
Let's go.
I'm running the show today. So what this is? But for real though, I think Kung Lao. So Liu Kang is a descendant from Kung Lao.
Mm-hmm. I heard him say that.
That's Kung Lao's temple. That's his. I forgot. Was it the northern? Not the Northern Lights, but it was something along that, like the Enlightenment. I think Kung Lao is the one who won the tournament the last time and saved humanity. So now I take once a generation as like a century, like 100 years. That's what I took it as. So I'm gonna figure that they had 100 years of peace until the next Mortal Kombat, and in that they're finding who can be the next one when it gets closer to that time. Because the dude who could have been nice 90 years ago, I highly doubt he's gonna be able to do anything now. So they're trying to figure out. I feel like all the monks have been training since Kung Lao to prepare themselves for the next person to take on the role to save humanity.
Yeah, but you have to win 10 Mortal Kombats to take over the world.
No, humanity. No, yeah. This is the thing. The dark side won 9 in a row. This was the 10th one.
So they waited 900 years and 1,000 years to finally win.
Well, no. What I was thinking was because they said that it happens in different realms. So I assumed that maybe like every couple hundred, well, not a couple hundred, but every few years or so, they go to a different realm and fight. That's what I took from it. So they won different realms. They won 9 different realms in a row. Is how I took it. That's
how I see it because they have the outer world that they in the second one. In the second one, they fight in the outer world. So for me, I think that's what it could be.
So that's one of my holes that I saw.
I know.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, so why would Liu Kang's brother be fighting Shang Tsung at any point before the tournament? I know it wasn't a Mortal Kombat going on because, like they said, it only happens every few generations. Why? Like, how would they have come in contact and fought, and why would he have been killed by him? I that was one of the points I was lost with.
I feel like this movie left off somewhere from where the game ended because I feel like that's only something you would know if you played the game. I feel like that. And to be honest with you, in any of the games, like it took me forever to realize who Kung Lao was. Like it took me a long time. So that's why I say like that
game. He wasn't in the first.
Yeah, he showed up in the second game.
Yeah, he showed up in the second one. But I'm saying so when I was younger, I had Super Nintendo, so I played it a little bit, but I didn't remember. I played more Mortal Kombat when I got to PlayStation 2. So Kung Lao was there, but he was kind of like he I don't know. It was just a weird. Like I didn't know who he really was. So it took me some time to really figure that out, and that's where I think like that comes into play So that's a whole. You got to like kind of do some detective work to figure that out. Definitely.
Okay, so let's get off Luke Cage for a little bit. Let's talk about Johnny Cage. Now, Johnny Cage, he's filming a movie, and that movie seemed like it sucked because
I thought he was filming Double Dragon.
That's exactly what it seemed like too.
Because they said that this was the last scene of the movie that they were trying to record, and none of those guys that he was fighting seemed like some badass fighters because he was beating them up pretty easily. So, like, who was the big boss of this movie that he was filming? And one of the guys, he kicks the guy, he doesn't fall down. He tells him, "Now this is where you're supposed to fall down." And Johnny Cage get upset, and he kind of walks off away from him. And the director's trying to get him to come back to finish the film. But I was like, this film obviously sucked because there's no big bad right here at the end that he's supposed to be fighting. You know?
Yeah, that was a weak ass last fight scene.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But then again, you know what, man? You know what? Movies are not filmed, in sequence. So
yeah, they could be filmed.
That could have been the last scene, but not necessarily the end of the movie. You know, they could have put that somewhere else. It could have been, So who knows? That's just me being nitpicking. So then he goes over and I guess he's having he's upset with the press because they're not writing flattering things about him, and they're saying that he's a fake martial artist, and he's upset. And he wants to prove himself. Do you think martial artists who are in movies are really like that?
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think about like a lot of the famous ones, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li. Like those guys don't seem like they would care if someone thought that they were real martial artists or not.
Maybe
I've never
not
seen
like
anyone write anything bad about any of those guys.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, I'm sure at some point, yeah, like again, like how we talk about everybody matures. So I'm sure, like in the beginning, they probably caught some flack.
I mean, I think didn't Steven Seagal get called out one time?
Well, Steven Seagal, man, hey, I don't really think too much about him.
Well, and I mean, there's two sides of Steven Seagal. There's the movie Steven Seagal guy, that persona that he portrays. But then there's the other version. I don't know if you saw the TV show where he was a police officer.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my God. You got it. Look up some scenes. He's a bit of to say it nicely, he's a bit of a dork.
Okay.
But D-bag is probably the better word.
Okay.
So he's like the all-knowing, he's really into like Zen.
Okay.
So like there's a guy who has to redo his shooting test, and Steven Seagal is helping him learn the Zen way to shoot and teaching him. And although some people, I'm sure, like for me, that's not my thing. He just came off as a real snobby jerk about it. But I mean, he did help the guy, so who knows how much of that was production wise and how much of it was actually him.
What was the name of the show?
It was something about Steven Seagal being a cop. I don't know what the name of the show was, but
I looked on Wikipedia.
I mean, he literally, after he retired from movies, he went and actually became a cop in his hometown.
Okay. So Johnny Cage goes over to where his chair is, and someone is sitting there in his chair. Was that his manager or was that his old instructor? Do you know?
I think that was his old instructor. I'm almost
Okay.
positive of that, yeah.
Okay, that's who it was supposed to be, his old instructor.
Because he called him Master something, whatever his name was.
Okay.
So I have to assume that was his. You don't call Master to someone that's, a bum off the street.
Right. Well, 100. 100. Okay, so, he sees the newspaper and it says Johnny Cage is a fake. His old instructor is reading it. And then he tells him about Mortal Kombat. Now, we find out that that's not really his old instructor. It's really Shang Tsung, and he has disguised himself. And then we see Sonya Blade. Sonya is trying to capture Kano. Kano has killed her partner, and she's trying to hunt him down. Do you think she was going to arrest him, or do you think she was going to kill him? I think she was going to kill him.
I think if she had her way, she would have killed him. Yeah,
I think she was going to kill him. And she's trying to track him down. So for some reason, Shang Tsung wanted her to compete in Mortal Kombat. Did he ever say why he wanted her?
Just seemed to have a thing for her, really.
I thought it was a reason, because the way he said it, because Kano saw her looking for him, and he started talking to Shang Tsung, and he told him, make sure Sonya Blade is on the ship. So I was wondering, like, is there something that we're missing, or? Well,
I mean, if we go with, towards the end of the movie, he wanted to challenge Sonya, thinking she was the weakest link out of the three that Raiden basically said would be the decide the outcome of the tournament. Mm-hmm. Sonya, Johnny Cage, and Liu Kang. So I mean, that's the only other reason, other than the fact that he had a thing for her.
Yeah, probably. Maybe he was going to try and marry her or something.
Something like that.
Some type of weird ceremony or something.
He's like, your soul is mine for the rest of your life, or something. I don't
know. Okay, so we got the main three, our main three heroes: Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, and Liu Kang. Another thing that used to bother me about this movie is Raiden. And I like the powers and everything, but when I saw him, that was not the Raiden that I was expecting. The Raiden that I remembered from the game. Like, I was like, who is this guy? Like, he was like Gandalf. That's
you know what? When I was watching it, that's what my son said. Oh, it's Gandalf. I said,
he did.
No, not really, but okay.
Gandalf with lightning. Okay. So like he really didn't fight or anything like that. Like his own purpose was like he was like a guide for them for Liu Kang and Johnny Cage.
The rules are he's there to help the Earth realm, but he's also there to make sure that Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn follow the rules.
Right.
Because they were already trying to break the rules here and there, left and right.
Did you feel like it seems Boog's coming back? Okay, Boog's with us.
He changed his name too. All right, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. We got to fight now.
Did you did you guys find it weird that how am I going to say this?
Just say it.
I'm trying to say think of the best way I can say it. I don't know. I just don't understand like why they changed Raiden from. How come he just wasn't a regular fighter also?
Because that is the actual storyline. Because not to give too much away, but in the second movie, he basically becomes mortal and not a god to help them actually fight when the rules are broken. But
so he can't fight.
He's always been the one that guides them, and never really was able to compete in Mortal Kombat until he had to break that mold of the god to mortal.
So when I was playing the game as a kid, like I didn't really care about the storyline. I don't even remember what the storyline was of the game. I was just
you got to remember the games then didn't necessarily always have a storyline.
They didn't have
you had to read the little book that came with it to get the story.
I borrowed the game from somebody else. I didn't even buy the game. I borrowed it from somebody else, or I went to Blockbuster to get it. Like I didn't have the book, so I didn't know what was going on. I was just like, cool, we're gonna fight each other. Come on, Trav, get on the other controller. Let's fight.
There you go.
That was it. But do you think it was weird that they didn't really show any other competitors for this tournament? They showed the one guy that Johnny Cage made friends with. I think his name was Art Lee.
That's not weird.
Huh?
That's not weird.
Every other movie that you see that has a tournament, they show other people fighting.
Okay,
they don't just show one person.
Listen. This movie came out in 1995. They just got done watching a terrible Street Fighter. They're not going to show everybody.
This movie was similar to Enter the Dragon. And when you watch Enter the Dragon, you have Bruce Lee and you have the other two guys. But you
Kelly and John Saxon.
You see everybody. You see other people competing. Also, you see them whether they're just sitting around. But you see other competitors. In this movie, we only saw the Art Lee guy. That was it.
Well, listen. I mean, what do you want? Do you want them to have to do
That's
BS.
that's nothing
Hold
major.
on. You want them to have you want them to do what they did in Street Fighter and do BS backstories for like 10 seconds, or do you want them to focus on just the core group and we get to really understand who they are? I'd much rather have that.
I want to see
personally
something like this where they're talking about it being a tournament. I want to see at least a fighting montage. Give me the best around. We from the Karate Kid, like we saw that. We should have saw other people competing or something. Even when they got on the boat.
Well,
if you look in the background, you can see people, but you never really saw them close.
Hold on, but this is the thing. In a way, they did show other people. I think when we think of tournament, we thought of the fight of like Art Lee versus Goro. That's what we think of tournament. Realistically, they showed other people because the tournament had Reptile, it had Goro, it had Sub-Zero, it had it had those in it.
This was the finals. We missed the preliminaries. This was the finals.
But what I'm saying is all of those people that you just named, they just fought Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and Sonya. They didn't fight anybody else. We didn't see them fight anybody else.
Listen, this is what happened. Matt Action ended up messing up the...
no.
Shots fired.
I couldn't hold that one back. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold that one back. You guys set me up for that one. You guys really did. Sorry.
For those of you who are new to our show and have not heard CTE, the other podcast that's on this network, look up CTE episode, I think 97, and you will get the backstory. You'll get the backstory to what Bugs is talking about. Okay.
but yeah, no, I didn't see. So even though they said tournament, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I didn't see this as like a tournament. I never saw it as like an official, because when I think of tournament, I think of like what we do or something similar to that. I didn't see that with this. To me, it seemed like they had a tournament, but they weren't trying to have the tournament. They were trying to like make everyone get killed off before the tournament even started. So that way, instead of there being 100 people, there's only 2, and that's it. That's what it seemed like to me. Because even the ending was so unofficial for a tournament. The ending wasn't a true ending. Like, I know, everyone look at a tournament.
The Overlord comes in and says, "Oh, this is my tournament. I choose Final Combat. You win. You
exactly.
And
who does that? This ain't the 60s. These ain't the 60s, bro.
So when we saw Sub-Zero and we saw Scorpion, when they showed up, like it would have been cool to me if we would have saw them earlier in the movie destroying some of the other competitors that were in the tournament. So that when they came on the scene with Johnny Cage and Liu Kang, we could have got hyped.
Well, technically, we saw what Sub-Zero could do. He made that dude explode.
When I went to the movies to see this, I went to the so when that happened, when we finally get them on the screen, I knew they were going to lose. Because they're fighting Liu Kang and Johnny Cage. I would have liked to see a build up to seeing them, and I think we're probably gonna see that in the new movie. Like they're not just.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, this is the thing. Okay. Well, hold up. So this is the thing. When these movies, they didn't explain Sub-Zero and Scorpion's true backstory, right? Joe, did you just said they were enemies?
Yeah.
Yeah. You saw the online series, so. The Lin Kuei and like their whole faction, like the reason why they're enemies is it would take forever to go through that. And we saw that with the online series. We saw that like with it being talked about before. Like that would take forever to talk about.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just seeing them beat up and kill people.
But that's the thing. But for you to get them to beat up and kill, I don't know. To me, like you heard what Shang Tsung said. He said they were under his mind control, like the worst of enemies. Shang Tsung didn't have plans for them yet. Their plan was just to take out Liu Kang and Johnny Cage. And technically, if you want to be honest with you, Scorpion tried to take out Johnny Cage early because that was like a preliminary bout. He tried to take him out quick.
Yeah, but I did have a problem with not having a Scorpion versus Sub-Zero fight. That should have happened. They shouldn't have been allies under
that's
Shang Tsung's control.
I think that's the thing. I think it's because technically they're under the dark side. So if they would have fought each other for like the final match, the dark side would have won anyways.
And then tell me this: when Scorpion first shows his power, because we saw Sub-Zero with the gun and freeze the gun and break that, but when we see Scorpion's hand open up, you like that version versus just a spear in the? Because I did not care for the alive version of his spear coming out of his hand.
No,
well, it wasn't a spear.
Whatever it was,
it was like a bird. but no. So this is my thing.
Venus flytrap. It was like a Venus flytrap.
Yeah, I always had a problem with that.
So here's the thing. As a kid, so this is where how we come to like how we look at movies. As a kid, I loved that. That was my favorite part of the movie whenever he did that. Because my dad, when I was younger, my dad used to throw a rope at me and he used to be like, "Get over here," and he'll pull me as if he was Scorpion. So to me, I always thought that was cool. Like I love that.
Okay, but if that rope came alive and started trying to eat you, you'd be like, "Get over here, no freaking way!" but now, to be honest with you, I like seeing the spear. I think the spear is dope because there's more martial arts in the spear. I can connect that more. And for me, I like seeing that part. What about you, Gene? Do you know have you seen him with the spear yet or no?
I only know it from the game. So,
okay, so
you haven't seen the preview for the new one?
What? The
preview for the new one shows him with the spear.
Yeah,
we're gonna have requirements with this show. We're gonna have requirements. This is just ridiculous.
I'm gonna tell you why. Like nowadays, I really don't watch trailers for movies too much anymore. And that started because of the second Avengers movie. When the second Avengers movie came out, I saw the trailer. I saw all of the trailers for it. And by me being a comic book person, I knew the story that they were going to tell. So when I went to the movie to see the movie, I didn't enjoy the movie as much as I could have because I already knew what the hell was going to happen. So everything was kind of spoiled for me. So anything that was good that I could have been surprised by, I just didn't have that effect. So since then, I stopped watching, all these different trailers that come out. I might watch the teaser trailer, and that's about it. I try and stay away from everything else.
Man, you're one of those, because you know what? If people know stuff, like watch something before me, and they tell me about it, doesn't ruin it for me one bit.
Oh, man. No, I can't do that. I can't.
My wife hates it because I'm okay with that. Like, people will be like, well, I'm not going to ruin it for you. I'm like, no, go ahead and ruin it for me. I don't mind. I'm weird that way. I don't know why, because I love to be surprised. Like, don't get me wrong, man. Like, I like that surprise factors and everything, especially when you're in the movie theater and everybody goes crazy. But, yeah.
Yeah, man, I mean, I'm about to spoil. I was about to get into something else when it comes to Avengers. I'm not about to do it.
I hear you.
So we talked about Sub-Zero. We talked about Scorpion. So what did you guys say? Joe, you said you wish they could have fought each other.
I do. I really do. I think that would have been a great fight. And it's the fight that's supposed to happen because they are mortal enemies.
I definitely would have liked that. I definitely would have. But I also, not trying to jump ahead, but I like in the second one how we get to know who Sub-Zero is. I thought that was kind of dope. So okay. I definitely, but I'm with Joe. I would like to see them fight. I mean, to be honest with you, when you look at Mortal Kombat, I think those are like the two most played characters because you know that there's a rivalry. You just want to see like who's the best.
And they're great. They're easy characters to pick up, and they're really good to fight with.
Oh yeah.
I think I was Sub-Zero most of the time when I played.
I feel like Travis would be Scorpion.
I don't. You know what? I think Travis was Liu Kang a lot of times. I think I really don't remember, but I think it was Liu Kang.
From a karate perspective, like right now, if I was to play the game from a karate perspective, like what I do, I pick Johnny Cage because he does like triple kicks, he does like axe kicks, he does like doubles, he does like hook kicks and stuff. So I always pick Johnny Cage because I'm like, oh, he's pretty much like what I do now. It's easy.
Johnny Cage is real slick in the new games.
Yeah, he has some good move. Yeah, man, I'm about to analyze this like if it's a real fight. But he has slick movement though.
Okay,
some slick movement.
Another fight that I want to talk about, which was a little bit of a hole for me. I don't know about you guys, but Liu Kang fought Katana. Now, Liu Kang beats Katana, but he doesn't kill her, and he doesn't have to kill her for some reason. And Shang Tsung doesn't take her soul? What was up with Katana? Like, why is
because she was the princess of the emperor.
I was gonna say you don't know that whole story.
No, I don't.
Man.
So Katana is the adopted daughter of Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn is the boss of Shang Tsung.
Okay.
So he's not going to kill her adopted daughter.
And Shao Kahn ended up getting control of Katana's mother, who is what was her name? Melissa or no?
Sindel. And
she is a crazy motherfucker.
So all of this that you guys just told me, did you guys get this information from the game or the web series?
The second movie. The second
movie, but also from the game.
Yeah, from the game it also explains it if you read the book.
Okay. All right.
So he didn't take her soul because if he did, I mean he would have been in some real deep shit. But then also
he would have been in some trouble with Shao Kahn.
Yeah, but then also on top of that, she was trying to help Liu Kang. So why would he have to kill her? He don't gotta kill her. He don't gotta hurt her. And
he kind of liked her too.
Yeah, well, I was about to say that, but and also, man, he trying to set it up for something later. Like he ain't trying to ruin his chances. I mean, I know I do that. That was me. I'm not gonna beat you down. I'm gonna let you know. Listen, you come over here in the waters, I'm gonna hit you hard, but I'm gonna take it easy on you.
Okay, let's move on. Did they explain besides Kano killing Sonya Blade's partner? Did they explain anything else? Like what happened? Why did he kill him? What was they doing? Was it some type of illegal fight club that he was killed?
Well, he's from what I know, Kano was like a hustler. He was like a kind of like the highest level of like a robbery thief kind of. So I'm gonna guess that they tried to stop him and he killed her partner.
Okay,
that's what I always. Now, I don't really know.
Right, Joe. Right? Isn't that what they tried to say? I'm pretty sure they tried to say like Kano was like if we're gonna talk about like the best thief in the world, it would be like Kano. So they're trying to get him, and then he ended up killing her partner, which she took to heart, and then that's why she had like a vendetta for him.
Well, her new partner sucks.
Who, Jax?
Her new partner was Jax. What are you talking about, bro?
Dude, would you let your partner just run off and jump on that ship without you following her?
No.
Then you suck. He sucks. Like, what kind of partner? You're supposed to have your partner's back. Like,
they had to save him for the second movie, Gene.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say. I'm about to be like, bro, they had to give him a reason.
That would have been another fight that they would have had to set up that they weren't ready for.
And then also on top of that, to be honest with you, man, Sonya was kind of annoying. He's like, you don't trust. She's like, I only trust one person, and you're talking to her. Like, come on, man, get out of here with your freaking GI Jane ass.
So you don't. So you didn't like her, huh?
I just didn't like because she had like an attitude. Like literally, people ask her a question, she's yelling at them. Like, relax. It's not that big of a deal. She got mad because her compass didn't work. Like, Jesus Christ, man, chill out. Hold up. One of the funniest parts in that whole movie, I'm sorry, was when they were going up they had to go up them steps that were in the clouds, and Johnny's briefcase fell. I was like, I would be
briefcase. He had all the suitcases and everything.
Pissed.
Mr. Hollywood himself.
It like literally, this mountain was like above a cloud, so I would have been like, "Oh yeah, now that's just gone. We're done with that one." Like that was crazy.
So would you have been pissed at Liu Kang also? Because Liu Kang won his bags and he
No, I wouldn't be mad because you know why?
He deserved that. He deserved that. Treat Liu Kang like the help.
Stop Asian hate. That's why. Okay. Over here trying to stereotype Liu Kang. Get out of here. Stop Asian hate. That's right. Yeah, I see what you're doing. I see where you're going, Gene. We're putting an end to that now.
I wasn't going that way. That had nothing to do with me.
I'm not. You and Travis. You have that Travis gene in you where you just try to get something out of people.
Nobody's like my brother. Nobody's like my brother. You know.
Yeah, your brother is hilarious though. He was trying to get Carlos just to curse at him.
I love it.
But yeah, man. What Liu Kang did was absolutely acceptable. That's like someone coming up to me and they're like,
but I mean, if you were Johnny Cage, because you just said on the mountain, you were just like, oh well, that's just gone. But now like this guy is walking by, you stop him and tell him to take your bags and put them on the boat when it gets here. And he takes one of your bags and throws it in the water.
I mean, okay, hold on. If I have that thought process of Johnny Cage, I'm probably like, damn, bro, you didn't have to do that. But then if I'm looking at it from like where we're at now, I'm like, sure, you deserve that. You're an asshole. Like,
yeah,
like I probably would have sidekicked you into the water with your bag.
Okay, so what I was gonna say, so as me, Eugene Plowden, I would have never said that. Like I would not just saw somebody walking down a pier and tried to stop them and say, hey, why don't you get my bags? I wouldn't have did that.
But what if you were Mr. Hollywood
if I was Johnny,
star? What if you were a Mr. Hollywood movie star? You don't know how you be acting.
Oh, I do know. If I was Johnny Cage, I would have kicked him in his fucking back and knocked him in the water. That's what I would have did. That's what I would have did.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. You know what he would have did? Luke Cage throws that suitcase in there. Gene goes into his other suitcase, takes out the bat. He's like, here we go. I got you now. He said, oh, you thought I forgot about my roots? I still got this bat with me.
Finish him.
There you go.
Oh, all right, God.
So at one point in the movie, Luke Cage, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, they're walking through the temple. Once they get to where the hell did they go? That island? Did they have a name? Did they give it a name? Do we know? I guess not.
Sure, there's a name. I don't remember what it's.
There was a name, but I don't remember.
Sun Island or something.
The only thing I remember them saying was that none of their technology works there. I thought of it as like the Bermuda Triangle. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out like if they were still on Earth or if they were someplace else. I really didn't know. I couldn't figure it out. But it's beside the point. They're walking around the temple where the tournament is going on, and they come across Goro and I think Kano and Shang Tsung. At that point in time, I probably would have been like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I would try to find a way. Like, there's no way I'm going to fight something with 4 arms. You know, that's 7 foot tall or whatever.
So it makes me laugh, right? It makes me laugh because I always have this saying. I think you guys heard me say it before when we talked about like one of the pre-shows for Pro Point. And you guys were like, "Oh, like how do you feel?" I was like, "Listen, if that man got 2 arms and 2 feet and he bleeds red blood, he could be beat, and I could take him out." But in that case, I would have been like, "Man, this dude got 4 arms. Like this is not anywhere near what I do." Like,
so now that's what we got to do to scare El Kakui. We just grow a couple more arms.
Listen, because at that point, I'm just gonna look and go, okay. So if I block both arms, you got the other 2 arms. Like how this dude Terry Lee, he just grabbed him by his waist, and then his other arm just thunderclapped him. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll take that Johnny Cage approach. I'll punch you real hard right in your nuts.
Yep.
I did like that they added that into the movie because I knew that was from the game. Plus, my brother used to do that when we did 1-steps all the time. that was one of Travis's 1-steps that he used to do. Drop down to the splits.
Travis doing that.
Yeah, that was a 1-step that he used to do.
That's effective.
That was like an actual that's in your system. He'll go to a split and punch.
No, you can make them up.
That was
at a
Travis's.
certain belt level. At a certain belt level, you can make them up.
Yeah.
Oh, Travis, you were flexible like that? Get out of here.
Yeah, Travis used to be. He used to be like Jean-Claude Van Damme. He used to have the 2 chairs and had his legs on there doing the splits on the chairs.
Travis, are you sure?
I'm positive. Like he got pictures. We got pictures like that.
Dude, this is crazy because when I look at Travis's Instagram, he has like a cheetah print like rug that he like works out on. It's crazy.
Well, you thought like he was like pampered, like training, like you thought like he was like doing the Rocky 3? Like
no, like when I you gotta remember, I'm young, so anytime I ever saw Travis, I never saw him kick. He was when I got to see Travis, like I saw his videos, and I saw him compete. I saw Travis more of like his like punching days. I never saw Travis kick like that.
Yeah, he only did. He was only a kicker or kind of a kicker, like when he was younger, not so much as an adult. And I don't really remember him
for
fighting
real. Like for real. I honestly I didn't even know like he like do the splits and all that. I never really saw Travis kick ever. Ever. I never really saw him kick.
So I like that. So I like that they added that for Johnny Cage in the movie. I also I don't know how I felt about Liu Kang doing those kicks that he did, those flutter kicks when he's flying through the air, because I know that was part of the game.
Bicycle kick, yeah.
Yeah, but it just didn't look right the way they did it. It didn't look right to me.
It looked like exactly what it was. Like he was on the screen.
It was perfectly fine to me.
Well, you loved it, so I mean, you loved the movie, so
yeah. I mean, well, because they incorporated moves from the game, but they didn't make it all about the game. Like they let it still have its own story. That's why I like the actual movie, because like Sonya, when she killed Kano, she did like her signature, her fatality move. Like she'll like go up, grab you, and twist your head off. Like she would do that. So like they did it subtly in the game, but like it's not like they made the whole game. It's not like they made the whole movie like it has to match the game. Like Jean-Claude Van Damme being Guile, like that made no sense. Like this, it's like all right, we're gonna take one move from the game and we'll put it in there. Besides that, let the choreography happen on its own, which is dope.
Somebody who kind of had a major role in the movie, but we haven't talked about yet, was Reptile. In the game, I don't remember Reptile actually being like a lizard person.
No,
he was
Was he or wasn't he? I thought when he took off his mask, he was a lizard.
Yeah, he was.
See, I don't remember. He was okay, but he still wasn't walking around like that.
He wasn't he wasn't on all fours. Wow.
Yeah,
that's it. That was a little weird. But now, the Reptile fight was great to me.
Was he in the first game or did he show up in the second game? Do you remember?
I think he was in the first one, and then I think Smoke
was in the second one.
Showed up in the second one.
Okay, all right. That's what I wanted to know. Was Smoke also in the first game, or did he show up in the second game, or possibly third game? So I knew that. I remember there were 4 ninjas. I don't remember if there's more now. Because
there is. There's Reptile. There was Smoke. There's Noob.
Noob Sabat.
Yep. There's also another one. I'm forgetting his name.
Rain.
Yes, Rain.
Ermac.
Honestly, Chameleon, right? Didn't they have someone named Chameleon? Yeah, Ermac. Ermac is in the second one.
And then the 2 cyborgs.
Yeah, that came in the second one also.
Yep.
Okay, so everybody is winning their fights. We only saw Sonya Blade fight one time, didn't we? We didn't see her fight more than once, did we?
No.
She just fought Kano, right?
Well, she only fought once, and then she got kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was supposed to fight. Which, man, Shang Tsung a little freaky deaky the way he dressed her up.
I was about to bring that up.
Because I don't know what he was trying to do. Like he looked like he wasn't trying to fight her. He had her chained
up.
He
watched too much Star Wars, okay? That's all there is to
it. I was going to make the same comparison because it's like, okay, so these bad people, they just have stylists just hanging around where they capture somebody, they're going to dress them up and put them in a sexy outfit and do their hair and do their makeup. Like, because, she was strung up with her arms out. And Princess Leia, she had chains on and she was all dressed up. I was, thinking like, what the hell's going on? They just have beauticians just hanging around these raggedy ass places, I guess. Well. So Liu Kang and Johnny Cage, they see Sonya get kidnapped by Shang Tsung, and he says, "Okay, so I get to pick who I want to fight, and it's going to be Sonya Blade." And he takes off to go to Outer World, and Raiden is there. But Raiden tells them that he can't go, but there's going to be somebody else that'll be on the other side. If you look hard enough, there'll be somebody on the other side who can guide you. And that was Katana. So what was her deal? Like, what's her deal? Like, why is she beefed out with her, you said father? Or stepfather?
It's her stepfather. So the stepfather won Mortal Kombat and destroyed Outer World. And then took possession of the queen, her mom, so she hates the stepfather.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So that makes sense. Okay. So she takes them through Outer World and takes them to where Sonya is. And Johnny. Oh no, I'm sorry. Liu Kang is going to fight Shang Tsung. Johnny Cage fought Goro. I actually think that was a smart fight that those two had. because he took him away from where everyone was at, and then he was able to knock him off that cliff and get rid of him. I don't really have any holes in that fight, and we didn't really bring that up. You guys got anything to say about that fight, Johnny Cage and Goro?
No, that was straightforward. I wish you could have done that in the game. Goro was a pain in the ass. If I could kick him off a cliff, it'd been fantastic.
Is that no? I actually like that fight. I thought that was a more realistic fight. To be honest with you, I think if I would have saw him fighting Goro just straight up 1-on-1 in a ring, I would have been like, that's not realistic. But it was a good realistic fight, and Goro should have never broke his glasses. You fucked up, man.
And then Liu Kang is going to fight Shang Tsung. I laughed when Shang Tsung turned into his brother. I laughed.
Why?
Why?
Because he should like clearly, like, that's not your brother. You should have slapped the shit out of him. Why are you standing there having a conversation with him?
Wait, hold on. So can we jump back a fight scene? Let's jump back one fight scene.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of my favorite fight scenes of the whole entire movie was when Liu Kang fought all the souls of the dead warriors. I thought that was a super dope fight scene.
Okay.
Like the way he was fighting all the warriors, and I felt like you got to, again, like we talk about like the video game, like you got to see Liu Kang do some like pretty athletic stuff, some pretty cool moves, man. Like he did some pretty good stuff, and it was honestly, I actually really like those fight scenes. Like they were like pretty realistic. You saw him fighting people with weapons. Like it was good, man. It was a good
he's
fighting like different areas in the world.
Okay, is he freezing up?
Yes, he's freezing up.
Okay, I didn't know if it was him or me. Okay, you back, Bugs? You back?
You back?
You back?
I can see you. Are you good?
Yeah,
you're good.
Okay, so yeah, no, he I thought it was cool how he was fighting people from different places of the world, because you saw he had like a samurai, then it looked like he had someone from like the Samoan Islands. It was pretty dope.
Let me ask you this: so did you watch martial arts films and then incorporate that into demonstrations? The different things that you saw?
Well, I watched a martial arts film and then I said, all right, I'm gonna hit someone with that in my karate school.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
That sounds about right.
Like we never. So like for me, I never did demos. I never ever did a demo before. Like at a tournament or at like a Memorial Day parade or anything.
We used to do demos at like the state fairs and stuff.
Yeah, no, I never did did
demos all the time. Like I like doing demonstrations. Those are pretty fun. I never understood why why have demos at tournaments. I don't understand that at all. Like I don't see the purpose of it. Like nobody's there is about to leave their school and go train with you because they saw your demo. So what's the point of doing the demo?
Yeah,
But Joe, you wasn't watching us do a demo. You was watching this fight.
Maybe.
You was watching us compete.
I was getting beat by y'all.
Yeah, that's funny. Joe right away. But yeah, no, I never did demos. So for me, anything I saw in a karate movie, literally, I was like, oh, I'm gonna hit someone with that. Like watch this. I'm gonna do this to someone, or a perfect example, man. Like today, I'm sparring with my teenager class. And I'm trying to explain to them, like, you can't, you start your fight off the same way. Like, this person will run up and try to blitz. So there's one kid, and I'm always telling him, like, you always kick you always do a front leg roundhouse, and it's one kick every time. So I was like, I'm going to pick up on it. Like, change it up. I've been saying this to him for, like, weeks. So finally today, the first technique, I did a spin back kick, and I just touched his stomach. The next time he went to do it again, I did a tornado kick. I didn't hit him. I just did the tornado kick, and I kicked over him. But it's like to me,
good one.
Yeah. So to me, I'm not gonna kill my student, bro. I still need the money. So to me, I would. That's how I am. Like whenever I'm at when I was younger in my school, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do the helicopter kick. I drop into the splits and punch you in the nuts. Like let me do what I gotta do. Like that's how I was, man.
Okay. All right. So Liu Kang and Shang Tsung fight, and Liu Kang obviously beat Shang Tsung, and all of the souls that he captured they come out of his body.
They're freed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they float up. But his brother doesn't just float up. His brother comes and talks to him.
Spits some game on him.
That was some stupid shit, man. That was stupid. That's stupid.
He had to talk to his brother, man. What you trying to do? He did all that for his brother. At least let him say something.
Peace. I'll let you when you get up here.
I'll catch you on the other side, player.
Yes.
Open the gates for me.
I'll let me when you get up here. You know. That was whatever. So they ended up leaving, and Raiden greets them as they leave.
I thought it was pretty cool. Did you pick up on what Raiden said?
What took you so long? Is that what he said? What took you so long?
Yeah, you know why he said that or no?
No, I don't.
So he knew what the outcome was before it even started.
Well, he did say one of you will determine the outcome of Mortal Kombat. He did say that earlier in the film.
But he knew it was going to be Liu Kang. He knew Liu Kang was going to win. His biggest thing was having to get Liu Kang to the tournament, and then to get him, and then making sure he's doing the right things, getting the right fights, and matching up the right way.
Get him in the right mindset.
Exactly.
Didn't he have the most fights? Liu Kang had the most fights out of anybody?
Yeah, but he needed to.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
So that was dope.
And then the Emperor comes. So
no, that's not the Emperor. No, watch him out.
Oh, that wasn't.
No.
Okay, who was that?
Who was it?
You don't know who that was, Joe?
That was Shao Kahn.
No, that was Umaga.
Who the hell is Umaga?
Oh, you haven't played the new. So
I played all the games. It's Shang Tsung, then it's Shao Kahn, then it's Shinnok.
No. Have you played Mortal Kombat Armageddon?
Yeah.
Okay, so Umaga was the big dude that could fly.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that one.
That's who that was at the end.
Well, why would they show him? He's not even in the second movie.
Why they have him, I have no idea, because he wasn't even in the games at that time. Why they had him, I have no idea. Maybe they're gonna introduce him in a new game and then in something else. But yeah, that was Umaga. See, look at that, Gene. I knew no one ever knew that. I knew that.
No, I didn't.
And to be honest with you, I only put that together because I played the video game Armageddon, and he was the big one that could fly, like the biggest dude there. Because in Armageddon, there's a girl version of Goro. She's like a tiger with four hands.
Shiva.
Yeah,
she was actually games right now.
She was actually in I think she was in the second one, right?
Yeah, she's in the second one.
Yeah, no, but then no. So then there's another one. There's another one that looks like it has stripes, like a tiger, and it has 4 arms in Armageddon. It's weird. I don't know. Listen, Mortal Kombat Armageddon had just had so many characters that you never even saw before. It was just random.
Yeah, that one overloaded with characters, no story.
Yeah. That made no sense. But,
so that is so we see him. Whoever you said, Umaga, whatever. We see him, and they get into a fighting stance, and then the movie ends. And the second movie, pretty much, I remember it starts
pick up right there
where that movie ends.
Right there.
And that is all I really remember about the second movie is the very, very first few minutes of what happens.
Oh, the first 10 minutes. The
The
first 10 minutes of the second movie, I almost wanted to cry.
And they recast Sonya.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Raiden. They recast.
Oh, yeah, they recast Raiden too.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So that's our movie for next week. Is Mortal Kombat 2. Was it Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Is that the name?
Annihilation, sir. Yes, sir.
Annihilation. Okay. So I have, like I said, I only remember the first few minutes of the movie. I don't remember anything else. I don't know the story. I don't know anything. So I'm going into this movie blind.
The ending is terrible.
I remember saying it. I remember not liking this movie as more than not liking the first movie. But now, now I think this movie was all right, it's watchable. I could do it. I was expecting it to be so much worse. And like I said, I think it's because I've watched so many bad movies this last year that, this movie is just all right, I can watch this again. It's doable. It's watchable.
What's your grade for it, Gene?
For this, I would give it a C+.
All right, I'll give it a B. Angel?
A+.
I knew it. You said we were going to be shocked. I wasn't shocked one bit.
No,
You
not at
give
all.
this an A+ before you watched it last week.
A+ for the simple fact of the longevity of this movie and how we still talk about it and how it still gets played. Like, it's a movie that you can go on cable and it'll be on a cable TV show one day. Like,
okay, but tell me this now. In 2 weeks when we watch the new one, and if it's better than this one, what are you going to give the new? You can't give them both A+.
A-.
There you go. See?
A-. Okay. All right. A- for this one because it took me to watch it a bunch of times to understand like the little things, like how like in the beginning, how Gene said like why was it Liu Kang? What made it him? Like you wouldn't get that if you didn't like play the game and then like kind of like just piece it together kind of. So A-, but definitely not nowhere near the B range. It's an A-.
Oh, you most definitely don't agree with my grade then.
Not
C.
at all. Not at all.
It's all good. It's all good.
This is C. This is way better than Street Fighter. It should at least be a B-. If you go anything lower than a B-, I don't know, man. It's just,
man, I gotta leave it at a C, man, because
I think a C for Gene is pretty good.
Yeah. Especially for this.
Have you ever graded?
I was expecting this to be an F-, so I think I'm being good when I say a C.
Have you ever graded a movie and gave it anything higher than a B?
I can't remember now.
And that means no. So there we go.
I know. It might have been Last Dragon, maybe. I don't know.
The Last Dragon?
Yeah, I like the Last Dragon.
Like Bruce Leroy?
Yeah, but I hate that name for him. Like that shit was said one time.
Listen, Bruce Leroy is an A+.
I like the movie.
Is an A+.
I like the movie.
Show Enough is my boy.
Okay, so I see that Trav had posted something. But we're going to talk about it on the flip side when we go to our post show. Travis posted something and he tagged us in it, so we could talk about that on the post show. Okay, so that's it for this week. Next week, we're going to watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I hope it's just as good as this movie. I don't know if it will be, but I hope I enjoy it. You guys got any closing remarks?
Nah,
this movie was amazing.
Good show. I enjoyed it.
All right, cool. All right, so remember, check out CTE. Make sure that you guys watch live Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff tomorrow at 9:00. And also, if you don't get a chance to watch them live, make sure that you check out the podcast Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. If you guys don't have nothing else to say, then I will say stay safe, stay strong. Director, play my music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.